Let me load the data. Okay, so the next category of functions are information and logical. The information functions that we have are is number, is even, and contains contains is blank, is error, and is logical, and is non-text or is text, and username. These are the functions. So these are the functions which are under the category of information. The return type of these functions are, most of the functions are boolean. Either like it is going to tell you that boss it's a even or not. So it's a blank or not. It's a true or false. It is going to return. Then the return type is boolean. Most of the functions. Return type is boolean, true or false. Now these are the functions that we have. So let me reduce the data of a table.
Shreyas, can you remove this pop-up below pop-up?
Is it security related one?
Yeah, I think unapproved file call.
Mm-hmm.
You're not able to remove that?
Yeah, I scroll down to the down. You're still able to see?
No, no, it's fine. Now it's fine.
Mm. That was the blocker which made a delay. Okay, so the functions. Kalpana mute. Okay, fine. So the next function is number or is even. So these functions is going to verify whether the data type is a number or not. Okay, if it is a number, it is going to return a true. If not, it is going to return a false. And similarly, even it is going to verify whether it is a even number or not. So here, as part of employee table, I just want to verify what is the data type of a number. So here I am writing a new function is num. Here verifying is number of, checks it is the value is a number or not. If it is a value, like it is a number, it is going to return a true. So here the department ID I am mentioning, as all are numbers, it is going to return a true. And we have, so these functions, the information functions, will be useful whenever you are creating measures, not at the time of creating a column. But anyways, so it is going to verify whether it is a number or not. If number, it is going to return a true. And the next one is even. Verify for whether it is even or not. Even number. Is even the department ID. If it is even, it is going to return a true. All are this one, right? 10, 20, 30, 50. That's why it is returning a true. And let me give the employee ID. The true false it is returning. If it is even, it is going to return a true. If it is odd, it is going to return a false. Similarly, is text. it is going to verify whether it is a text or not. If it is a text, it is going to return a true, otherwise it is going to return a false. Is text, that ename here, it is going to verify the column name called ename. If it is text, if it contains a text, it is going to return true. And
will it verify data or data type?
data, it is going to verify the data. On top of it is going to return the value. Why? Because as I mentioned, as a measure at a column level, whenever you are working at the time, the value, the record value will be considered. Based on that, it is going to return whenever you are writing a condition on a measures.
Okay, thank you.
Next one is blank. Is blank, it is going to return, like it is going to verify whether it is a blank or not. If it is a blank, it is going to return a true, otherwise it is going to return a false. So here, whatever the column I am providing, this one, it is not a blank, so all the columns it is going to verify a false. It is verifying for a blank. If it is a blank, it is a true. It is not a blank, it's a false. Then after, is logical. Is logical means whether it is a column which contains a true or false or not. Blank, new column, is logical. It is going to verify whether the table contains a column which contains a true or false or not. So we return some functions, all are true or false only. It contains a logical data, that's what is returning a true. So that is what, that is logical, is blank, is number, is even, and then after, like error. Is error, we have a function is there whenever you are writing measures, whenever you are calculating. So we are going to verify whether it is generating error or not. So let me create a small table. Sorry. AB. So table 1. So here on a table 1, I am creating a new column. A by B I am creating. So table 1 of A by table 1 of B. So 100 by 5, 200 by 0 we are making. So it is showcasing infinity, but as part of your measure, it will give a wrong data. It is going to throw an error. So here I am going to write is error. If it is going to error, it is going to return a true. So checks whether the value is an error. If it is error, it is going to return a true. So what it is saying, boss, if I perform a 100 by 5, it is not an error. 200 by 0, it is an error. Is error means we are verifying whether it is error or not. Yes, it is an error. That's what is written a true. So now, whenever you are performing a calculation, we are going to write if condition saying that, boss, if this is error, do this one. If not error, do this one. We are going to mention. For now, we are verifying whether it is an error or not. We are finding. So yes, 200 by 0, it's an error. It is showcasing true. That is what is error function. Then after, you have, what else we have? So is number, is even, is blank, is error, is logical. Blank means empty value. In a database, it's a null or not, we are going to verify. But as part of a Power BI, blank is blank and null are both equivalent. Like in database, you have a null. Here it is a blank. So is text. So these things so far we covered: is num, is even, is blank, is error, is logical, is text. And username. Username is the function most very important function. With a small this function, we are going to implement a security as part of a Power BI. What username function is going to return is, username function is going to return the person who logged in Power BI, who logged in a Power BI. So I am creating a new column which is going to contain the username. I'm just capturing the username. So you cannot use this one as part of column, I feel. So username or username functions are not supported in a calculated columns or a tables. Fine. The username function, it is a measure. You can create a measure. Why? Because you cannot have a distinct values. Now only single value will get it. So username whenever you click on it, it is going to capture the person who logged in Power BI. Okay. So I create a measure in a table 1 and display that measure as part of a card or something. It is saying that mr/Srinivasrao s gurepati pro, like this is my email ID and it is my domain. Okay, it is giving that one. So username function is going to give the person who logged in a Power BI. It might be desktop or it might be service. Now you will get a question as part of interview. Boss, the username function in a Power BI desktop is going to give a name like domain name slash username. But whenever you logged in Power BI, it is going to give you username @domainname.com. How you handle these two things as part of your security implementation? They will ask you this question. Understand once again. Username is the function, is one of the information functions which is going to give an information of a person who logged in. In a desktop, if you execute it, it is going to get like this. In Power BI service, if you execute the same function, it is going to give the different thing. If you want to understand, let me publish this one. Username desktop under that XYZ. I am publishing. Let me go there. So here XYZ under reports, username. What it is returning? Username at the rate of domain name, at the rate of domain name. But what you are able to see in Power BI desktop, this is what you are able to see. Now here there is a concept is there. Whenever you are implementing a security, what we are going to do is we are keeping a username as part of a table. In a table, we are going to keep the username. Username we are going to keep as part of your database table, and corresponding dimensions, whatever they want, we are providing that specific entity level. This user require access we are providing. In a database, how you are going to store a person name? Is it like this, or is it like this one? How you are going to store a username value to validate. This is for a person who logged in, right? We are going to compare this value with a set of values which I have in a database. Each user has a different level of access. So how, in which format you are going to store? Is it in this format or domain name slash username format? How you are going to handle this one? People will ask in interview. You just Google it and let me know later. Okay. So the username function is going to give the username of a person who logged in a Power BI. At a Power BI desktop level, it is going to give the domain name slash username. At a service level, it is going to give a different name. So it might ask for as part of an interview. Okay. And I have been saying this one for a long time. I don't know whether you people long time is for my many batches. I'm not sure up to this level Power BI interview standard is changed or not, but this is a valid question. So that is what username. And the next one is Krishna. Did you face any time the question?
I mentioned RLS security in my profile. Everyone used to ask me only RLS security, but I only explained these steps. They did not ask
No,
particularly like how you will implement row level security. They will not ask separately. Just
no.
they ask about security. That's it.
That's it. Okay, fine. So that is what the username function, and the next one is contains function. So the contains function, it is kind of a, if you want to perform a join functionality as part of your model, you can use contains. But the return type of a contains is true or a false. Okay, whether it is there or not, it is going to return. If it is there, it is going to get the relevant data. Otherwise, it is not going to get the relevant data. Or you can like it is similar to a if, like if. So here, as part of a sales data, I am writing a function. So new column, so contains, so contains, so it returns a table with a new columns specified by a DAX expressions. Okay, so here what we'll do is, as it is a return type is a table, so we'll create a new table over here. What I will write is the contains. So here the table name in a sales data table, like the column name. So you need to write a condition. Whatever the condition which is satisfied returns, like so here we need to provide a condition. Whatever the condition which is satisfied, for that records it is going to return a true. So here in a sales data table, the column name, whatever the column name, like for now I have book name, the book name, I want to verify the value with a C, whether it is C or not. So I know. So go to the sales data table only. A sales data table, new column. So here I am creating a new column which verifies in a sales data table, like in a sales book name column, whether it contains a C or not. It is going to verify. If it is there, it is going to return a true. Otherwise, it is going to return a false. So here it is mentioning that contains sales data. The sales data book name, whether it contains a C or not, it is verifying and it is returning everything as a true. It making some mess. Let's check that one. Returns a true if there exists at least one row. At least one row it is saying. So as at least one row as we have, that is why it is returning a true. But here we need to apply multiple conditions. We'll see this one as part of security. Okay. So why? Because there we are going to write a two conditions. We are going to write a two conditions. One is we are going to filter based on the username. So here you have a list of users will be there, and then after we are going to contain the other data. So based on the username level and other level we are going to filter. At the time it is going to work, but fine. So contains function is going to verify on a table. So you are going to provide a condition, whatever on what column, what value. It is going to verify if that condition exists. If that condition met, it is going to return a true. And it is saying that at least one row is satisfied, it is going to return a true for all the rows. It's kind of our functionality. But this one, we are not going to use it for a column level, we are going to use it at a measure level. So we'll see this functionality as part of a security in next coming 3 or 4 classes. Okay, so contains will verify on this table in this condition met or not. We'll see this one. And we have the final function called is non-text. First of all, is text, it checks whether the value is a text or not. Okay, is non-text, the scope is including blank cells, checks whether the value is non-text. Okay, so non-text means the blank values, any other data type, like even numbers, date and time also. So other than text, it is the value containing other than text or not, it is going to verify. That will be fine. So these are the information functions that we have. Then after we have a logical functions are there. So logical functions, those are like the first one is if and if error, next and are not true, false and false if error not or switch 3 plus 3 plus 2 8. Yes, these are the logical functions that we have in DAX. So if you want to perform a condition, like if you want to write an expression with a more than one condition, we are going to use these logical functions. So here the first one is if. The if function, most frequently we are going to use it for all the places. So here let me go to that sales data table. So I am mentioning that, like let me get that proper column. Let me load that pending amount and amount paid also. Close and apply. So here I want to write a condition or I want to provide a grade based on the amount paid or pending amount. Okay, so here I am creating a column, a new column, like if. The functionality of if is like it is going to accept three parameters. The first parameter is it is going to provide, we are going to provide a condition. It is going to verify that condition. If that condition is true, we need to provide bus. If that is true, what value we need to pass? If it is false, what value we need to pass? We need to mention there. So here, if we are going to verify a condition like if the book name, if the book name is equal to C, or if the amount paid is greater than something, if the amount paid is greater than so 500 or a 400, I will give a grade as A. I will consider whatever the state it is. If it is more than 400, I feel that I will give a grade as a. Otherwise, give a grade as a B. So it is going to verify each and every record. If the amount paid value is greater than or equal to 400, it is going to return a value as a A. You can see like all the values less than 400, it is returning a B. More than, it is returning a. Like that, you are going to provide a condition over here as a first parameter. If it is true, what to do? If it is a false, what to do? You need to mention. Okay, so it's a true, I want to return A, that's why A came. If it is false, it is B. Now that is how you are going to write a condition. So that is if. And the next one is error or if error. So is error is the function which is going to verify whether it is an error or not. Okay, so I created one table. We saw one functionality. That functionality is if it is error, it is going to return a true. Like is error function, what it is going to do is it is going to check whether it is an error or not. But what we require, we didn't require like error or not, we require a value. And it need to handle the error also. So what we are going to do here is if we are going to check is error, if I divide A by B, if I divide A by B, am I getting an error or not? I am verifying. If I am getting an error, what value I want to display? I will mention -1. I will give some flag I wanted to give instead of throwing an error. If I represent, that will come and on my Power BI also same value error will come. I want to handle. I want to give 0 or some other flag I wanted to set. Otherwise, the same value I wanted to return. Same value I wanted to return. Table A by like the column called A by the column called B. So I am going to return the same. So now what it is going to do is I want to perform a calculation A by B. At the time of performing a calculation, it is going to verify for error also. If it returns an error, it is going to return a 0. If it is not an error, it is going to return A by B. You can see that 100 by 5, it returns a 20. 200 by 0, it returns a 0. I want to return a 0 if it is an error. If I want to return -1 or something, it will return -1. So that is what the if functionality or is error functionality. So if is going to accept first parameter as a logical condition. If it is true, what you want to give. If it is false, what you want to give. You need to provide. Now here, understand. Table A by B, like column A by B, we are calculated 2 times, right? We calculated 2 times. For a small basic expression itself, you calculate 2 times. Similarly, sometimes the complex calculations will be there. At that time, instead of repeating your expression each and every time, what you can do is you can write only one time with the help of a variable concept in a DAX. What you can do is you can write a variable where where like from x equals to table 1 of a by table 1 of b. We are going to define like this, where x equal to this one, and then after return here, instead of repeating these things twice, mention only x. X value is already calculated and stored on a variable, so just do this one. Even that one is returning this one. So before understanding this one, the variable syntax in a DAX is variable, where is the keyword, and variable name equal to expression or a value, and return a value. So this is the syntax for a variable in a DAX. Okay. So if the interview is very tough, they might ask you how to define a variable in a DAX. So if you want to define a variable in a DAX, means this is how you can able to define. Where is the keyword, then after variable name you need to mention with expression or a value, whatever, and you must return a value. Now that is what I followed here, where x equal to some a by b, return. Here I verified is error of x. If it contains an error, replace a 0, otherwise return an x. This is the best standard to follow to calculate anything. To calculate anything in the DAX. Anything in sense. Understand. So here I have a states are there. A states dimension contains a 5 states. And 5 states are there. And here I have 3 states information is there of a sales. You created a one measure here, sum of sales amount you mentioned, right? So whenever I selected a one state which is not available here, which is available here, from my drop down I selected that state. In a card I am representing a sales amount. I am representing a sales amount at this point of time. As I have a 3 states information, I am getting a value. But if person selected a value, I clicked on some dimension, like a dimension where the value, the other state, fourth state is there, which is not available here. Whenever I select this one, what value you are going to get? You are going to get a blank. Your card is going to showcase a blank. Okay, your card is going to showcase in a brackets blank. That looks ugly. The people who don't know anything, that looks ugly. Okay, who are compromised, that for them it is fine. How to handle that blank value? How to handle that blank value? I will write a function here. Instead of writing a direct sum, what I am going to do is sum I am going to write. Sum I am going to write, but this sum I will use as part of a variable where x equal to sum, and return if the x is blank of x is blank of x. I am going to verify whether the x is blank or not. If it is a blank, I will give a 0. Not, I will return x. So whenever I select a 3 states, it is going to return x value, which is sum. Whenever I select some other state, it is going to return a 0 instead of a blank value. Okay, so most, like in order to handle that blank values, you can use this variable concept. You don't need to learn anything else. You just need to understand. You are going to write a min or max or some whatever. Then after is blank of x, you are going to verify. If it is a blank value, place a 0, otherwise x, so that you will not get a blank values as part of your report. That is how we can work with it. That if or is blank or is error, those functions. As it is a training, independent functions we are going to have a discussion. But as part of your practice, or practice in the sense as part of your development, We are going to combine many things together. Okay, so that is what that if function, and the another one is if function. The next one is if error. So it is a single function. If this is error, I want to replace with some other value. That's it. Okay. So here table 1. So here that if error, fine, go to table, and I'm writing some other function here. If error, what it is going to do is like here you are going to write an expression. Okay, so returns a value if error. So it is kind of a is null function in your SQL server. If it is a null, you are going to replace with some other value, right? In the same way, we are going to provide an expression. If that is going to return an error, we are going to return some other value. So by table 1 of B. Okay, so we are calculating an expression. If there is an error, I want to provide a -1. Okay, so that is what if error. So previously, instead of we are writing a if condition, you can use this one also. If it is an error, replace with something else. If you have multiple conditions are there at the time, that is going to matter. If you want
Srinivas, bit louder, Srinivas.
okay. So if error is nothing but it is going to verify whether it is error or not. If not, it is going to return like if it is an error, it is going to return some value. If not an error, the same expression will be evaluated. That is what that if error, and or is nothing but. So if you want to work with multiple conditions, so if it is a one condition, fine. If you want to work with the multiple conditions, we are going to use and or as similar to other programming languages. So here we are going to write a new column. I want to get, so 1 second, here new column. So here I am verifying if I am writing a condition if the book name is equal to C, all the text values in a DAX must be enclosed in a double quotes or at date and time values also. Here we are going to write two conditions. Like first condition, I am looking for the book name is C, and the city name is, or city name anyways we can get in a filter. So amount paid is greater than. I want to find the transactions. Where the book name is C and the amount paid is greater than 400. Okay, so I'm writing a condition over here. So I'm writing a condition over here. Click on enter. So wherever the records are matched, satisfied with that condition, it returned a true. Wherever the C and the amount paid is more than 500. It returned a true. And all the other values it was returned a false. So this would be helpful, not here. Like whenever you are filtering on a table, whenever you are calculating other calculations, we need to filter the table with the specific condition. At that time, it is going to calculate. Or you need to have one KPI which is always going to return the book name called C and the sales if it is greater than 400. I want to represent that KPI. At that time, we are going to use this as a measure by writing a function. So for now, you can ignore the use case of it. Use case we are going to work on a project. So at that time, you will understand why you need to use all these things. For now, that and is a function which is going to return like and will be used to provide a multiple conditions. If the two conditions are true, then it is going to return a true. If at least one condition is true, that is going to return a false. You can consider that book name is C and amount paid is 375. It returned a false. And if these two conditions are true, then it will return a true whenever you use and. Similarly, and or. So or is going to verify at least one condition is true. If at least one condition is true, it is going to return a true. So that is what or. So whenever you are working with two expressions, we are going to use and or. The next one is not. So sometimes you need to verify the values against to your condition. I want to get the records. So let's assume a condition is too long, 3 conditions, 4 conditions I need to verify. At that time, I will verify the condition in against way. So if you want to get the records which are not satisfying this condition, at the time you can write a condition which is satisfying the condition, and you can get the opposite records by using a not. So I want to get all the records which are not satisfying this condition. Either the amount paid is less than 400 I require, or other than C I require. At the time I will use not. Not whenever you use it, you need to provide one condition. As I provided two conditions, and I'm adding and also on top of it. So not of and of this one. So what this internal condition verify is, it is going to verify the book name is C or not, and the amount paid is greater than 400 or not. Only that values it is going to consider. When I used not, the records which are not satisfying this condition will be displayed. So wherever this condition is not satisfied, it is going to return as a true. So that is what the not. And true or a false. True or a false is true is going to return a true, false is going to return a false. So whenever you are writing an expression with a filter or some other functions, you are going to validate whether the expression is returning a true or not with a true value. So here you are going to use the true or false functions. If I use that one here, it is going to return a true, or it is going to return a false. So true will return a true, false will return a false. And false will return a false. But where it is going to useful is whenever you are writing a measure, whenever you are filtering a table, whenever you are calculating some table, you need to write a condition. There you are going to validate whether the condition return a true or not. Equal to, so true we are going to mention. So true function will return a true, false function will return a false. The false function will contain a value called false, true will contain a value called a true. And switch. The switch, like whenever you have more than one condition, like if condition can work with one condition by default. If you want to work with 2 or 3 conditions, you can manage it. But if you have 10 conditions are there, at that time you can use like a switch. And so here you can write a new column which is going to return a switch. Here you can write an expression which is going to return a value. So here you can write an expression which is going to return a value. So here what expression we can write? So I can get the value of, yes, someone has some question. Manasa, any questions? Or Arpit? So, someone unmuted, that's why I'm asking. Arpit, any questions?
No question.
Okay. Fine. So switch, like whenever you have more than one condition, you can use this one. So it's not about a condition based on the value we are going to derive here. Okay, people might tell you that, like if I use a if condition, like if you consider if and a switch as a two entities, like here if and a switch you have two different options are there. By default people will say that, boss, for one or two conditions we can use if you have multiple conditions you can use a switch, people will mention. But here the concept is, the if you can write any number of different conditions. Okay, but switch is only one expression. Based on the return type we are going to write a different conditions. Okay, we are evaluating only one expression, we are not evaluating multiple expressions. Here you are evaluating multiple expressions. Here you are evaluating only one expression. It is going to return some values called 1 or a 2 or a 3 or a 4 or 5. At the time we are going to give a different options. If it is a 1, take this one or do this one. If it is a 2, do this one. If it is 3, we are do this one, we are going to tell. But this 1 or a 2 or a 3 will be calculated from only one expression. Only one expression. But here the expression will be different. So you cannot compare the if and switch with respect to my knowledge. So switch, when you can use it is, so whenever you wanted to validate with respect to multiple values of a condition. One condition which can return a multiple values. Whenever a specific value occur, if you want to do something, at the time you can use this one, the switch case. So here the switch, this can be used as part of a measure. I'm just thinking about like how we can choose. Why? Because it's an expression. The expression at each record level that will satisfy the expression. Okay, so but anyways I will give switch of what I will do is, we will go to the department table, which having some limitation also. Let me go to the department table or employee table. So here that new column, if it is the switch off, I will calculate the department ID or minimum of a department ID, maximum of department ID, whatever. So let's consider a maximum of department ID. So here maximum of a department ID or department ID both will be same, but we need to provide an expression. I am provided an expression. So it is going to, if the department ID is 10, so the max of department ID, if it returns a 10, I wanted to send a value as IT. If it is a 20, I want to return a value as some HR. If it is 30 or else, I want to provide others. So here it is going to evaluate the department ID, and based on that, if it, as I mentioned, only one expression, it can have a different set of values. Based on each value, we are going to write something else. So what happened here, like maximum of a department ID, and if it is a 10, it is going to return IT. It is 20 others like HR and others. Maximum of a department ID. We need to refer, it's an employee table, right? The minimum consideration is we need to consider the employment table and the department ID is the column. Then after we'll look for the issue. Execute it. Even now it is returning. So 1 second. Here what happened is 1 second, repeat. As it was like maximum we are taking at a column level, so it considered the maximum value and it is returned. So if you use as a measure at a record level, it will be considered at the time it is going to be a proper value. Okay, go ahead, Arpit.
I was saying if we do not use max, it will work or not?
It will work. It will work.
Yeah, see, now I think it is giving.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, a maximum, it took the maximum value, and the maximum value is some 50, not a 10 or 20, that's why it returns others. Yes.
Yeah.
And it has some limitation that, so it cannot work with that string values, like as a parameter, like a max x functions, or like whenever you are dealing with textual values, it is not going to work. I will explain the scenario tomorrow. And the switch case, like here, it is going to provide an expression as a first parameter, and it is going to return a value, and we are going to map that result with the different combinations, whatever the inputs that you can expect, and you are going to return the data. So here we are calculating the department ID. We know that it might be 10 or 20 or any other things. With the 10 I want to return something, 20 I want to return something, or else I want to return others. So it was returned. So switch will be used, so whenever you know the predefined set of values, if you want to populate the equivalent values, the other values for the same, you can use it. And there are some limitations with a switch also. We'll discuss that one tomorrow, and we'll continue further with the mathematical and the textual functions in tomorrow's session. I have a audit, I need to be there in office by 8, so I'm closing the class now, and we'll continue from here in the next session. Before closing, anyone has any questions on whatever we discussed other than the drive update and other things? Anyone has any questions on whatever we discussed?
Srinivas?
Yes. Karthik, go ahead.
In and R conditions, we can evaluate at a time more than one conditions, right?
You can maximum of a 2.
Whereas in if condition, if and if error.
So in a if, you can write a multiple conditions. How many you want, you can write it.
If error?
If error, it is going to write only one condition. If error, what it is going to do? It is going to verify expression. Under a if error, as part of a first parameter, you are going to write an expression. That expression, if you use a if, if you use a like if error, you are going to write, right, as leave about if, like if error, it is going to, as part of if error, you are going to write one condition here. That condition, if you use a if, you can write anything. We don't have limit, but ultimately this is an expression. If that expression is an error, you are going to replace with some other value, whatever you want. Okay, as this is an expression, you can use anything. If you use a if, again you have unlimited scope. Unlimited scope is by default you have only 3 parameters for if: the condition, true or a false. You are going to write a one condition. If it is a true, you are going to do like this. If false, you are going to write another if. Okay, under that, again the condition, true or a false, and as part of that false, again you are going to write another condition. Okay, like that you can next it and you can go ahead.
There is no limit in if class.
There is no limit. If you can understand, you can write any levels, and the other people also must be in a position to understand whatever you are writing.
Okay. Here we can use under R conditions if you want, right?
Yes, you can.
if you use if error if you use if class, there is no limit. If we are only using if error function means there is only one. We can evaluate
one expression. Yes.
Okay, one expression. For under are two expressions, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Srinivas. Yeah.
Anyone has any other questions? Okay, fine. Thanks much, and all the people who ever joined as part of this class are like almost most of the people except Karthik or Srinivas, Rajamohan, except everyone are there as part of that WhatsApp group. Give me a personal message into my Dubai number, the availability of a classes over that 13th, 14th, and 15th, and the remaining things I will get back to you with the drive and everything. Okay, I will get back to you in some time today regarding that scheduling the classes. I will be available, but based on the availability of resources, I will check regarding the 14th and 15th. But till like tomorrow also class is there, and regarding 13th and 14th and 15th, as some people showcase this one, but everyone has their own personal priorities, right? So give your priority, can be available or cannot be available. That's it. On my personal WhatsApp, not on a group. So if I have high priority, like I will continue the classes and I will complete the DAX and project implementation, and I will share the videos with the people so people can understand. So instead of taking a call from my end, I'm just asking you people just go ahead with your decision so that I will make it. That's it from my end. If anyone want to discuss anything, we'll discuss after 2 hours or 3 hours. I'll give a ping. I will call you. Bye now. Rajamohan, you are connected from institute or outside, like from a home? Are you able to hear me, Rajamohan? Fine, fine, fine. Naeem, are you there? Srinivas, I given a new drive access, and a Karthik, I given a new drive access. Okay, so you can find the latest drive from there. Yeah, I'm there. From which?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, Srinivas.
Yes, from which mission you are speaking?
First mission.
Like, with what name which is logged in? Rajamohan, is it?
Hello?
Yes, yes. From which mission you are speaking, I'm asking.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Raghu. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. I came for here the first session.
First session.
Yes,
So actually, what happened on this batch is this is the 8th class which is happening, Raghu Mohan, and so if you want to see the demos which are happened for this batch, just share us your email ID so that I can share you whatever the classes which are done so far. Okay.
Okay.
So for now we are done with the 7 classes, and we are started at DAX yesterday only, but for the people who ever looking for a job or whoever Power BI is required, you don't need to worry at all which class it is happening and all. Okay.
Okay.
So I can give all the details, and I will share my drive access of it, videos like 4 or 5 videos. If you are comfortable enough, you can make the complete course in a week of time, and I will guide everything end to end. So tell me what exactly your requirement is. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, tell me what exactly your requirement is.
Requirement.
Yeah.
The last sessions these are the basics or
No. So we'll do one thing. Raghumohan, where you are staying? Like you need to go to office now, or what exactly your thing today?
no, sir. I'm searching for job, sir.
Searching for a job. So what we will do is share your number to Naeem, and I will call you after 1 hour. We'll speak personally. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll discuss personally, and then after we'll take a step like how we can proceed and all.
Thank you.
సో మీ ఈమెయిల్ ఐడి ఇవ్వండి, మీ ఫోన్ నెంబర్ ఇవ్వండి. సో నేనే ఒక 1 అవర్లో కాల్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే, ఐఎమ్ స్టేయింగ్ దుబాయ్. సో ఐ విల్ కాల్ యూ ఇన్ 1 అవర్. విల్ డిస్కస్ అండ్ విల్ డిసైడ్ వాట్ వీ కెన్ డూ. నేను ఏ విధంగా మీకు హెల్ప్ చేయగలుగుతానో చెప్తాను. సో దాన్ని బట్టి మనం ఎలా ప్రొసీడ్ అవ్వాలి చూద్దాం.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే, మా వాళ్ళు అంటే రీసోర్స్తో మాట్లాడడం కోసం కూడా రమ్మని వచ్చి పొద్దున పూట, బట్ ఈరోజు కాస్త త్వరగా వెళ్ళాల్సిన పరిస్థితి ఉంది. సో అందుకని సో ఐ విల్ కాల్ యూ నెక్స్ట్ 1 అవర్ ఆర్ 1.5 hours ఆఫ్ ఎ టైం.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
ఫైన్ రఘు? Yeah, fine. So, Karthik, you want to speak something? Like Karthik, where Karthik, you are in institute or?
No, I am morning batch Karthik, my name.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not in institute.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
I answered through the mail. Please check it the mail once.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Naeem? Anyone wanted to speak with me? Okay, fine. So I will call you in after 1 hour, Naeem. Okay? Stay in institute only. I will call you after 1 hour. Bye now.
అది మీట్లో ఉంది నేను చూడు. 1 second సీను.
Hmm.
మన శంకరెడ్డి మాట్లాడు చూడు.
సరే, హై ప్రియారిటీ మాట్లాడదామని చెప్పు. శంకర్, ఏమి? ఓకే, బాయ్ శంకర్. Yeah. Naeem, after 1 hour I will call you.
ఓకే సీను.
Okay, bye now.